Hello, welcome to Oxford Heirlooms. Well, as you can see, I have all of my hand embroidery completed, and I've been to the ironing board and I pressed the collar mainly to make all the friction erasable pen lines disappear because I don't need them any longer. Now, I do need to do a little bit of trimming now that I've got everything cut on. So I'm going to cut from the back. And I'm going to start with my fabric cutting scissors, and I'm simply going to cut a line to about the center of the neck hole opening. Then I'm going to use my specialty scissors that have the blunt tips, and I'm going to carefully trim the batiste away from close to the zigzag line going all the way around. And the blunt tips of these scissors prevent me from poking a hole or, having the tip of the scissor accidentally go into the lace and cut it. So just cut close to the zigzag line without actually cutting the zigzag. Now I need to trim this all the way around the collar. So I'll be right back. Okay, I've got that outside edge of the fabric trimmed away, and the collar is laying pretty flat. I mean, there's a little bit of ruffling in it, but not too much. Okay, now I also need to trim away from behind my loops. So I'm going to start at the first one and using my specialty scissors. I may do this off camera because it's kind of hard for me to do this from this angle. But I just need to trim close to the zigzag. And trim the zigzag away. Now I will have a little bit of layered lace that I need to trim away too, but I'll work on that in a minute. So let me trim batiste away from behind loops and I'll be right back. Okay, I've got all of my excess batiste trimmed away. Now what I've done while I was off camera was I cut a piece of entredot that's roughly the length around the collar, just a little bit longer. I also cut a length of edging lace. Pin. I got some edging lace. And I cut it 1.5 times the length of the entredot. So let me put the collar out of the way for just a minute. Now what I need to do is I need to trim one side of my entredot. So that I can gather my lace and zigzag it to the entredot. Okay, this is going to take me a little while to get this trimmed and then to get my lace gathered. So let me gather lace and then I'll be back when I'm ready to sew it to the entredot. Okay, I've got my lace gathered and I've got my entredot trimmed. Now I'm going to butt my gathered lace up to the entredot. And then I'm going to drop my needle and make sure I'm going in an entredot hole and not stabbing the entredot ladder. Move a little bit. There we go. Okay, now I can begin to zigzag this lace to the entredot. Now I'll go too fast. Okay, just like I said, just keep the gathered lace butted up next to the entredot and zigzag the two of them together. Okay, this is going to take me a while to get all of this zigzag, so I'll be right back. Okay, I've got all that gathered lace zigzag to the entredot. Now, before I can shape this to make it fit onto the edge of the collar, I need to trim the other side of the entredot. Let's see if I can do this from this angle. Okay, so I'm just trimming the batiste away from the other side of the entredot. Okay, this is going to take me a minute to get this all trimmed off, so I'll be right back. Okay, I've got that entredot trimmed. Now I've got the lace. If you look at this lace, the edging lace is actually directional, and I've got it flowing to where the flowers on the insertion lace and the flowers on the edging lace are flowing the same direction. So I'm going to start up at this junction. I'm going to start about an inch in on my edging lace, and then I'm just going to zigzag it to the edge of the insertion lace going all the way around. But let me see if I can get the camera focused over here. I'm still set to a zigzag. I've got my lace. Okay, now let me make sure I'm going in an entredot hole and not stabbing the entredot ladder. Just takes a minute to get positioned in here. There we go. Okay, now I'm going to go slowly so that I can keep control of my entredot. And just slowly follow the curve of the collar. And as you can see, the entredot will curve. Okay, this is going to take me a few minutes to get all the way around the edge of the collar, so I'll be right back. Okay, it's a little slow going, but it is doable to get that gathered lace sewn onto the edge of the collar. Now, I could have zigzagged the lace directly onto the insertion lace, but I kind of like the look of the collar when it has that entredot edge. Now, this is the way it's going to look on the dress, and I'm thinking that's looking really, really sweet. Okay, now in the next video, well, let me go ahead and open that back up. In the next video, which may be the last video, we'll sew the neckband onto the collar, along with the button and the little ribbon loop attacher, to button the ribbon loop for the buttonhole. okay? But in this video, we were trimming the batiste away from the edges of the fabric and also the loops. And then we gathered the lace onto the entredeux and sewed that onto the collar. Thank you.